selfishness is an ancient art of protection against energy drainers. I know that's right. Thank you so much, Goddess Energy, for sharing that message. Definitely a real one. And I'm glad she shared that because I wanted to just talk to you guys and just remind you guys and let you guys know that there's no shame in your game when it comes to being selfish. And you need to understand that being selfish is a form of self-love, and it is a necessity, right? When we think of selfishness, most of the time we think of spoiled brats who are stingy and just don't want to share. Like they have an abundance of something and they want to hoard all of that and not share and indulge with other people, right? That's what we think of typically when we think of being selfish, right? But that's not even, like, to me, that's just one form of being selfish, and that is like a diluted version or twisted and diluted version of what selfish really means, and I feel like being selfish is definitely necessary at times, and it's also a way to preserve one's self because everything starts with you. Like, you have to know that. So if you are not well, if you are not healthy, if you are not in the right mind, how are you able to move through this life, right? And so you have to learn how to become selfish, especially when it comes to your time, your energy, and your efforts, right? We all know that there are manipulators out there. We all know that there are energy vampires. We all know that there are people out here who just take advantage of people's time, money, energy. They just waste time. They're just here for what? Just to cause chaos, right? And so, these are the people you have to look out for. These are the people that you have to learn to become selfish towards, because they have no cap on taking from you. They have no limit to what they want to get out of you, right? It's unfortunate that they take advantage of people who are generous with their energy, time, and efforts, right? And so you have to really be careful when you're indulging or when you're sharing your energy, your time, your effort, because if people are not reciprocating the energy, the time, and the effort that you are pouring out, then you should start to become more selfish with said individual, right? And it's not so easy to do, right? Because me as a former people pleaser, it was not so easy to do. Manipulators, they really try to play on your emotional heartstrings, right? And play on your energy that way. There's a lot of projection, heavy manipulation, heavy trying to play with your emotions in order to foster an outcome that benefits them. So it's not as easy to be selfish, but you have to learn how to be selfish. And one of the best ways to become selfish with your energy is to establish healthy boundaries, establish standards for yourself that keeps these types of people and keeps these types of energies and personalities out of your life or at a distance from your life, right? If somebody is a user and they only come around when they're in need of something, and they're coming around all the time to just ask you for something or beg you for something, every time they call, every time they text, It's the same thing when you pick up on that pattern. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue to remain in contact with this person and you know they're just using you? Or are you going to distance yourself? Are you going to stop picking up that call? Are you going to stop answering their texts? Right? Are you going to send a clear message to them that you cannot be used? Because that's the thing. If you don't stand up for yourself and you don't move in a way that reflects that you actually care for yourself and respect yourself, then these people aren't going to move that way either. And they're going to show you how you show yourself. So they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to disrespect you. They're going to walk all over you because guess what? You didn't say anything. Guess what? You're not, you don't have these boundaries. You're allowing them to take advantage of you, right? And that's their mentality. That's what these manipulators' mentality is. Well, they allowed it. They let me do it. I didn't force them. You know, that's the lousy excuse that they're going to come up with for taking advantage of a good, kind spirit like you, collective. That's what they're going to say. So it's best for you to establish these boundaries with these people, right? You know, say no. Start saying no. You know you don't feel like helping this person. You know you don't want to go to this event. You know you don't have the money for them. You know you don't have the energy. So say no. Don't say yes, right? And don't feel guilty for saying no, right? Like, this is how you become selfish. This is how you protect yourself and keep your energy afloat, right? I used to be someone who drained and sucked my energy dry, left and right, just spreading myself thin, helping this person, watching that person's child or kids, you know, going out of my way to meet up with this person to make sure they had this for that, right? Like, there was times when I literally canceled my own plans that I've scheduled sometimes weeks or months in advance. I canceled plans for myself just to help or look after someone else, right? And most of the time, you don't get the thank yous. Most of the time, you don't get the appreciation. Most of the time, you don't get that reciprocated energy back, right? They're not looking out for you. They're not showing up for you when you need. You know, they're not pouring into you how you poured into them. So now you feel shortchanged. Now when your energy's gone, they're not coming around to comfort or support you, but you did it for them. See how that works? Eventually you're going to get tired of that. Eventually you're going to be feeling so drained that you're either going to crash out or you're going to fall back. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's best for you to learn how to be selfish. Being selfish is your best friend. And people will try to, they're being selfish. They don't worry, they don't think about nobody but themselves, or they're so self-centered, or they'll start projecting all of these types of things on you, hoping that it sticks, and then you change your mind and then you fall back into line where they can keep manipulating you. But see, that's where you have to go above that and say, F these projections. I don't care how you feel or how you think. I'm going by what I feel and what I think about myself, right? Because the projections will eat you up, and that's what will stop you or trip you up from being selfish. I'm letting you know, as your big brother, as your big brother or your little brother, okay? I'm letting you know it's okay to be selfish. You need to be selfish. You have to be selfish with your time, your energy, and your efforts, right? Everybody doesn't get the same access to you, collective. Everybody doesn't get the same benefits of being around you, right? You have to categorize people, and you have to put people in their place and show people how to treat you, right? And the moment that you put yourself first and you start being selfish with your time and energy, people will then have to prioritize you and respect you and all that you have for your lives. I promise you, trust me on this one. Yes, go ahead and be selfish and let them people just be mad about it, because guess what? You deserve it, collective. You deserve to be selfish. You deserve all of the good energy that you pour out into the world. You need to pour it back into yourself, okay? Listen, let me know if this message resonates in any way in the comments below, okay? And if you do enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe, okay? Because we are a vibe over here, and I love to help other people awaken and free souls. Love y'all. It's Karkar. I'll talk to you later. Bye.